We have company, dear.
I'm just finishing.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dirkje Oortman, but please call me Dickie.
And I'm Berent Oortman. My friends call me Ben. I was born in the Netherlands in 1914. And you weren't far behind.
And we've been married for nearly a century.
Not quite. We were married in 1941.
Forgive me, a mere 82 years. He's always been a stickler for details.
I'm a horticulturalist. Details matter when it comes to caring for a garden.
Yes, dear. My Ben was a city horticulturalist of Atlanta. His passion was bonsai trees. And though my husband is too humble to mention, his work was instrumental in the rose and bonsai gardens in Piedmont Park, which became the basis for today's Atlanta Botanical Gardens.
But Dickie, I think they've come here tonight to learn more about our earlier lives before we immigrated to North America.
Well, I'm getting to that, dear. Well, you've heard of World War II tonight. War can make for unforeseen demands upon you. What's that saying, dear? Some are born great, some achieve greatness.
And others have greatness thrust upon them. It's Shakespeare, I think.
Well, I'm certainly not sure about greatness, but the war was definitely thrust upon us. We were just living simple, ordinary lives in our small town in the Netherlands.
Yeah, you make it sound so dull. I was a gardener on a large estate, and there is nothing dull about a garden. Every day is different.
Well, I worked as a maid. Perhaps not quite as thrilling, but it was a good life. Then everything changed. The Nazis invaded. And then
The Dutch royal
family, they fled to London, leaving.
The whole country seemed desperate. Teachers, doctors, railway workers. There were daily strikes and protests, followed by retaliations from the Nazis. The Dutch resistance fought bravely for freedom. Then one day, the Nazis took over our estate, and we were working for Nazis.
And I was angry, just angry, all the time. And our Jewish neighbors were being deported. A woman I once worked for came to us, asking us for help. She asked us to hide her and her children. And she was right to be afraid. Her cousins were killed in the camps at Auschwitz. I felt we had to help them.
Make it sound as if it was an easy decision. It wasn't. I felt responsible for my own family's safety.
It wasn't as if I just moved them in. We had discussions on whether or not to give them sanctuary.
Heated discussions. You must understand, in the countryside, the Dutch resistance was a loosely organized group of local people from town to town. There were no guarantees of our safety or help. I asked her, are you seriously suggesting that by day we work for the Nazis and by night we hide Jewish families in our home?
The answer was yes. With your work on the estate, we had access to food and rations, which were becoming scarce. So we helped her.
I felt we had to do it too, Dickie. It was dangerous, but we did it.
First, we hid them in the house. Then, in the attic, much like the now famous Anne Frank story. Each day seemed an eternity, but they were the first family that we helped escape.
If I hadn't had my work, I think I'd have gone mad. Watching flowers blossom, vegetables ripen on the vine, it gives one a sense of peace and hope. That's why I love being here at Oakland so much.
Remember the children, Ben, how brave they were? The boy Robert and his sisters, and they survived the war. Shortly after we left the Netherlands, and by 1959 we had settled here in Atlanta and begun building a whole new life.
Then in 1984, a surprising thing happened. That boy Robert nominated us to be honored at Yad Vashem, the World Holocaust Remembrance Center in Israel. We were named Righteous Among the Nations, an honor for non-Jewish people who helped during the Holocaust.
Robert spoke on our behalf, thanking us. And seeing that child as a grown man felt like a miracle.
Our names were added to the Wall of Honor in the Garden of the Righteous in Jerusalem. And we were given a medal that reads, "Whosoever saves a single life saves an entire universe."
And tonight we tell our story as an act of resistance. A reminder that a single person can make a difference.
Well, two people, actually.
He always has to have the last word.
I'm afraid it's too late for me to change now, dear. I came here to Oakland in the year 2000 at 85 years of age, and Dickie followed 9 years later. Now we're eternally surrounded by beautiful gardens. It's the perfect place for us, isn't it?
It is perfect. And though our journey is over, you've much more to see tonight. Go in peace, my friends.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.